Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are at November 30th. For MiningClips, I'm Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, will run us through this. Okay, Mickey, the G20 is all the news here. Up a dollar today, big dollar day. Let's run through the metals. We're a mixed bag, gold dead flat.
Yeah, even though DXY was strong, basically on dovish remarks from the Fed midweek, gold was flat, closed at 12.22, same as last week. Silver lost 12 cents, closed at 14.15. Platinum took it in the shorts again, down almost 5% below 800 at 798. And palladium continues on its roll, finished at an all-time weekly high of 1164, although it did hit 1174 on Wednesday, I think, of 6%. And it's approaching parity with gold off, 55, 60 bucks right now from parity with gold. Unheard of.
And copper picked up a penny.
Copper did pick up a penny, although it's backwards for plus 2 years right now. I want to mention zinc, which is at record low inventories, 10-year low in inventories, but it has the highest premium in 20 years for a 3-month contract since 1998, and that was during the middle of the Asian contagion. So base metal markets are very messed up right now. Trade issues with China. We got Trump and Xi going to meet tomorrow at the G20. One thing that's positive for the metals would be the new USMCA treaty was signed, formerly known as NAFTA, and Canada's Prime Minister, ever the contrarian, refuses to call it the USMCA, calls it NAFTA still. I guess that's because Trump put Mexico ahead of Canada on that. Part of the problem with base metals right now is slowing China. PMI at 50.2, barely above neutral. Copper, 282, closed up a penny on the week.
And head over to the energy markets here. Oil actually hung in there considering its slide, kept above 50.
Well, it did keep above 50, but it closed at 50.68 for almost a percent loss. It's at a 14-month low. Despite some positive numbers from the business, rigs down 3, same production, 11.7, but inventories once again up 3.5 million barrels. OPEC meeting pending next week, I think. U.S.-Saudi relationship a bit edgy right now with the murder of the guy in Turkey, and Saudi upping production 1 million barrels a couple of months ago. Oil's just in oversupply right now. Here's a tidbit from the natural gas patch. There's so much natural gas coming out of the Permian Basin right now that producers are paying others to take it off their hands so they can continue with oil production. That means they're selling their gas for less than zero.
Buttoning up with uranium here at another down week.
Yeah, it's basically treading water. Lost 18 cents on the week. Closed at 28.75. It's hit a bump in the road on its rise, but it's still hanging in there toward 29 bucks.
And head over to these currency markets here. The U.S. dollar was screaming today, and the euro hung in there, but loony, another bad week.
DXY had a volatile week. It remains below its 1.5-year high of about 90.70. It closed the week at 97.20, more or less, for a 0.3% gain, driven really by the dovish remarks from Chairman Powell on the Fed. Interest rate rises, thought to be another one in December, but they've eased off this idea of 3 for next year. That dropped the 10-year Treasury down to 3%, about a 8-week low now. We should also mention Bitcoin at a 1-year low, less than 4,000 bucks. Euro lost a little bit, closed at 113.3. Loonie did not do well, closed down almost a half a point to 0.7526.
And wrapping up with the equities markets, they were red hot this week, up across the board.
Best week in 2 years since Trump election in November of 2016. Dow 25,538 up over 5%. S&P 500 2760 up almost 5%. And the big winner Nasdaq at 7330 up 5.6% on the week. VIX was a little bit lower at 20, still pretty volatile.
Wrapping up that venture exchange, no surprise to you, I'm sure, but another down week.
Yep, down. Closed at 590, down 13 points on the week for a 2% loss. It was down as volumes have gone up and down. Tax loss selling is starting to ramp up, but we haven't seen these big volumes yet, but it certainly is driving stocks down. We expect that to continue for another 2 weeks, Rob.
Okay, Mickey, appreciate the insight, and I guess we will see you in Spokane next week for a convention. So appreciate the insight as always, and catch you next week.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Spokane. It's going to be cold and snowy up there, as it always is this time of year, but I invite everybody. It's mainly a conference for geologists and engineers and lobbyists, but drop by and see my talk called The Trouble with Geologists. I guarantee you will be entertained.